Dern,
Yes, Gavin.
welcome to the Modern Warrior podcast. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here with me today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
How are you doing?
Great. Yeah, delighted. I'm a bit giddy. I'm excited.
Good. Let's maintain this giddiness for the next hour or so. But I'm maybe going to bring it back a couple of steps because I know in all your brilliance today, there's a story behind it all, and there's roots to who we are today. And you're a lady from Laois,
Yes.
wonderful county of Laois. And as you reflect back on your on your time in Laois and your upbringing there and your childhood there, this is more of a double-ended question to start with. But what do you feel you've taken from Laois with you into the woman you've become today, and what parts have you left behind?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think you can take the girl out of Laois, but you can't take Laois out of the girl.
Okay. What's the Laois in the girl now?
Yeah, well, I'm from a farm. So I think that, is something that I'll have with me forever. And that kind of, I don't want to say grounded because I've never been grounded in my life, but I think, my family have always tried to ground me. I know they've been wonderful, but I think that kind of down to earth nature maybe, and then actually nature in general. You never kind of forget your roots. Not that I'm very far from them. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a very philosophical answer here, but once a bogger, always a bogger.
I hear you. Very philosophical, yes. Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of work hard mentality. As I said to you actually a couple of minutes ago, Daddy is very passionate about what he does and his farming, his vintage tractors. And I think Mammy and Daddy have always been very open to all of us being ourselves and exploring our interests and our passions, because that's the way they are. So I think that has been a great, something great to kind of move forward.
Yeah, the foundation piece.
The foundation, yeah. So, well, now they'd be like, go and do what you want to do, but you also have to make money. So it's kind of that nice balance.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm very grateful for where I am from and for my family.
Yeah. What have you left behind? What do you feel you perhaps still need to leave behind in order to continue this path in your life?
Probably just Laois in general.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get out of there.
Yeah.
I know.
Shout out
Laois.
to all the Laois people listening. Yeah.
Big fan of Laois.
Yeah.
What do I want to leave behind? I don't think I want to leave behind anything really. I'm kind of very happy with, I had a really happy childhood. And I think as well, because I was the mistake of the family, absolutely and utterly. There's 5 kids in general, 4 above me. And there's a perfect 2-year gap between all of them.
Okay.
And then 8 years later, I'm like, let's party. Yeah. So I think I had a great childhood because I had so many brothers and sisters that I was spoiled basically by them. And then I think I got Mammy and Daddy at a really good time where, they were probably getting the wooden spoon, my brothers and sisters. And I was just they went that way, behind Mammy. Brilliant. So yeah, I got them at a time that, they'd kind of raised the rest of them, and then I was just the party child, kind of way.
Okay. Certainly lived up to that.
Exactly. Yeah. Whether they liked it or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't think of anything that I would have left behind. I loved the family, or I loved the farm, I loved the animals, I loved the dog. Frisky was the name of my childhood dog, and I swear to God I used to talk to him because my brothers and sisters were older as well. So it was me and Frisky against the world.
I hear you. Yeah,
interesting name as well for a dog. I didn't pick that one. Yeah.
You didn't pick that one out. Frisky by name, Frisky by nature. Yeah. Who are we talking about here? You, the dog? Yeah.
Debatable also.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'd don't believe in leaving anything behind. Everything kind of teaches you something.
Yeah,
maybe.
nicely put. Yeah. And so the oldest sibling was what age when you were born?
Yeah, so Charles was 16.
Okay, so from 16 down, yeah.
Yeah, and
All
he's my godfather as well. So we like to kind
Wow.
of keep it in the family. You know,
All right,
yourself a
cool.
bit.
All right.
Not in a
Wow.
weird way.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
But yeah, just because he was so much older. But yeah, he's great. I feel like all my brothers and sisters then, like they've all got massive personalities. So I feel like I've kind of taken a bit of each of their best attributes.
Okay.
I
None
like
of the
to
worst
say.
stuff, no. No bad habits at all.
No,
Sure,
it's
no.
nice. Not that I'm going to tell you about.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, come on. This is a very open and honest conversation here.
I know. But yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah, so you got to witness a lot there as a young child and on the farm with not just your parents being, pillars of support for you in those early years, but also having those older siblings as well to look after you and support you and to guide you along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were like my heroes growing up. And then obviously I was the annoying younger sister, but they they were always very good to me. And I was like the little show pony, but they were as well, like my brother Neil was always massively into music and singing and acting and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, he's the coolest person ever. And I used to watch all the musicals and, basically pretend that I was in them.
So that would have been one of your main influences as a kid to sort of take this path on in your own life.
Yeah. Oh, I was obsessed I wanted to be a Spice Girl, basically.
Okay.
That was still is my main goal in life, to be honest.
Win for the reunion here, yeah.
Not much has changed.
I don't think Posh Spice is there anymore. You could take her space there, yeah.
Sure, they'd never notice.
Yeah, of course.
I could be Leash Spice, maybe. Spice it up a bit.
Yeah. That sounds like a threat more so than anything else, yeah.
Straight out of prison and into Spice Girls.
Yeah. And then so it's quite interesting that you come from this very grounded farming background, but then the path that you took seems so different to this life that you were brought into. That'd be true. There's a fierce difference between the farm and then towards perhaps the more performance-based pursuit that you took on.
Yeah. I think Mommy and Daddy always had a bit of kind of madness in them as well. Like that performance, would have been, not that they ever pursued it, but Daddy definitely anyway would be quite theatrical, and so would Mommy. And actually Mommy's family would all be like my extended family, like my aunts and cousins and stuff. Like there'd be kind of the arts within everybody. So
that's been part of the family as well.
Yeah, we're all a bit.
And did your siblings take a similar route? I know you mentioned your older brother there. Did they all sort of venture down this path for a period of time, or?
They kind of all did something different. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe not performance, but well, my brother Charles is farming at home, but like Charles, the brilliant dancer, like they're all quite
expressive, performance,
mental.
Mental.
How do I put this?
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody is into music and into dance, but maybe didn't take it on as like a career or to make money from it. But they all are quite creative. And like Charles is farming. My sister Neve works in. Neve is kind of like, Chandler and Friends. Nobody really knows what she does, but it's something good and something cool. It's like Neve was so smart. She works in like universities, I think. Again, Chandler, don't know, but big fan of her. And then Neil has his own business. My sister Mairead has her own business. So it's kind of like everybody kind of did something a bit.
Yeah. They seem like they've taken on their own path instead of being influenced by someone else or something else, or by society or by your parents. Your parents seem to just have given you like a free rein to choose the path in which you would like to pursue. Because for a lot of people, they're sort of indoctrinated, or they're not forced but heavily influenced to take a certain path that's going to feel safe. And I'm a big believer that a lot of our parents just want to keep us safe and will encourage us to take the safer route. So we have a job and money coming in and pension, and this is going to fund the life of the home and the cars and the materials. But for you, it seemed that, okay, if this is where you want to go, we'll fully support you. We're not going to deter you away from this path or from this pursuit of yours. That how you found it, or?
Yeah. It would have been, yeah. But also, they would Daddy would have loved if I had gotten a pensionable job. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, exactly, there was never any pressure. Well, I was encouraged to go to college and study music and dance. And then I came out of college and I was like, oh, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try all these different things. And then it was kind of, I wouldn't say pressure, but a little bit of a nudge, to maybe go and do the primary teaching now and just see what happens. So it's kind of to have that backup plan. They're not like, oh, go and be free and live in nature. Do you know that kind of, well, they would be like that, but they'd also be make some cold hard cash at the same time.
Of course.
Yeah. They are. They're wonderful. And it's funny because they're from mommy's a teacher, daddy's a farmer. So it's a very traditionalist background. But as I said, they've got their own little bit of madness. And so they're kind of yeah, just go on now and do you.
Yeah, that's interesting. It sort of reminds me of that, my own journey, because I never really knew what I wanted to do. So I was always kind of, in a way, floating in the wind and just allowing myself to perhaps be led towards certain avenues or certain paths. But at the same time, whilst we're floating in the wind, we need somebody to ground us and to say, hey, look, you could maybe try this, maybe go down this route and give that a go. And, I feel that's something like you're speaking about here. You're kind of floating around, you're going, yeah, I could try that. But yeah, I've come back down to earth here and, become more grounded and realize the path that's ahead of you and try it,
Yes.
And for me, as I said, I had no idea what I wanted to do in my life up until probably quite recently, and realizing that the path I'm on right now is exactly where I'm meant to be. But if you'd asked me, even if you asked me 5 years ago, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Probably shrug my shoulders, go, I don't know. And probably if you asked me the same question today, I'd probably go, I don't know. I'm just going to see where this brings me. And I think that's, for me, I think that's quite a special attribute to have, because you're not tying yourself down just to one role or one path or one way to live your life. But at the same time, you're open to falling in and out of different things. So you're never, maybe it's the wrong term, but you're never fully committing yourself to just one thing. So you can potentially bring that to its full potential. Yeah. So that to me has been probably part of the challenge. And I found myself in situations where I've felt, oh, maybe I'll go over here now. No. This is working. It's just stay here, stay on this path, and just allow it to unfold as it's meant to. And at the same time, I feel that if something's no longer serving you, then it's going to fall away anyway.
Yeah.
And just don't attach yourself to the outcome. Don't attach yourself to this one role. Be open to explore different avenues if it comes up in your path. So, and I find similarities there with your own journey.
Yeah.
That you've sort of been trying different things and see if it fits. If it doesn't, like the primary school teaching, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if it doesn't really serve me, and I'm okay to leave this behind.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a big fear for a lot of people to just let that go, because then they step into the unknown.
Yeah.
And that's been a huge part of your journey, I feel, is to let go and then allow yourself to explore the unknown instead of being quite fearful or apprehensive about it.
Yeah,
That'd
totally, 100%. And the unknown, I feel, is where things happen. That kind of uncomfortable feeling, you need to feel that in order to kind of move forward, because it's after that uncomfortable feeling that things actually start to present itself. And I feel like there was something that you said, you're kind of floating around. And a woman said to me before, and it was one of the best analogies, or I don't know if you'd call it an analogy, but it was you don't want someone, you're flying in the sky, and you don't want someone to fly with you, but you want them to hold your hand from the ground So like they're not pulling you down. They're just like you're up there
Yeah.
floating. But like they're there to kind of just,
Guide you
make
along.
sure you're not going to crash land
Yeah.
more or less, or that there's something to kind of, and I just loved that because I was like, that's it. Exactly. That's kind of what I feel like my family are, that they're like, you go on and do your little thing, but we'll kind of just make sure that
you don't
you're not
crash and burn
on the moon.
yeah
Exactly. And then what you were saying as well, like I feel like consistency without expectation, that was like one of my favorite. And it sounds so silly, like when I say it out loud sometimes, when you're like, I didn't realize, not that I didn't realize, but I was always too afraid to try because I was too afraid to fail, So then when I actually was like, I don't care about what happens in the end, like what you're saying, you don't know what's going to happen in 5 years' time, but you're just going to put things in place and explore your passions and see what happens, but stay consistent with it. So as long as you're consistent doing something that you enjoy doing and not expecting really anything to happen or not having an end goal, things will just naturally happen, I feel.
Evolve,
And I think that's where the opportunities come, as long as you're putting yourself out there and being uncomfortable and making the decisions that you're absolutely terrified to make. But you know that once you get over that, that's when the good stuff happens. And not caring as well, not making decisions based on other people's perceptions or what other people are going to think. And like, that's what would have stopped me before, because I came like from the farm and from the countryside. We never really, the way there's small town talk or, in places like we were always out in the countryside. So there was nothing going on, to talk about except what was happening within the family. Like it sounds like we're on like some kind of commune or something, but do you know what I mean? We never talked about anybody else. Like there was
there was power in that sense of isolation from others.
Not like, you'd have your people coming in and out, but like there was never any bitchiness really. I don't know if that makes sense, or not bitchiness, gossip. Like idle kind of gossip. And it wasn't until I was in like a different scenario, I came out of college and like I realized, oh my God, people actually talk about other people or care what's going on in other people's life. And next thing, this really affected me. I was like, oh my God, people are talking about me now as well. And it started to kind of get in on me. And I was like, oh, I can't do that now because they're going to be talking about it. And it completely kind of screwed up my mentality for a while because I had never thought like that before. So I went from being like, oh, I'm going to try this and I'm going to try that to, oh God, I actually need to kind of dampen down a little bit now and just kind of do the norm. And then eventually, thank God, I broke out of that again and then realized like actually nothing matters, nobody cares. Just do whatever it is you want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody else, and just try and be consistent and see what happens and be uncomfortable.
Yes, that's so important, that not giving a fuck what people think.
Yeah.
That's huge, but it's almost as though because you weren't exposed to it as a child, you didn't learn how to navigate it in your earlier years, and then all of a sudden that hits you like a truck in later years.
Yeah.
How did you manage to shift that?
A lot of crying.
Good. All right. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, no, like genuinely, I was like, why am I feeling so sad? Like I'd kind of blocked off parts of me that I knew I loved. That kind of performative side. I was like, okay, I'm going to try the teaching. I'm going to try this kind of regimented life.
Structured, rigid, and bland and boring.
Yeah.
Well, to some,
Your words, not mine.
Yes.
Exactly what I would say.
Bland and it depends on the individual, For some, it's very exciting.
Yeah, some people love that. And I'm like, cool, if that's your... Like, if you love that, perfect.
Bland and boring for you, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
It seems like a you thing more so than a me thing. But, yeah, like, and I do, like, routine to a certain extent, but I just, was like, okay, I'm not doing the music, I'm not doing gigs anymore, I'm not doing kind of the things that make me really happy, that I love. And yeah, I just got really sad and I felt like not myself anymore. But I couldn't understand what was happening. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just made a big kind of decision and changed everything more or less. So yeah, and that was tough. And it was actually during COVID. So I think, yeah, I was really sad. But it was like that kind of now or never. So I was like, I'm going to do the things that I want to do, and to a smaller extent than what I'm doing now. But I feel like that was the start of this kind of journey to getting back to myself.
Yeah, that sense of isolation that COVID would have brought into all of our lives, and the first time perhaps you've been separated from the external influences, and then you're back to yourself, and then this is where you start to perhaps ask those difficult questions of yourself as to, how the fuck did I get here? Why am I doing this? Why am I feeling this? And then as you unravel that, you begin to realize that you've lost the brilliance of yourself to just fit in with others or to please other people. So at that point, you were up to the point you were playing it safe. You were sort of going down this route of safety. And, containing yourself to a certain extent. And then you started to open up more and then started to take on a new path. What did that look like?
It was, I just finished the teaching actually. So I'd gone back and did the primary teaching, had finished that. And then the plan was to teach for a couple of months and then go to America. So I was like, go hard or go home. I'm going to be a star in Hollywood. That obviously worked out very well. I know, but Mammy was like terrified as well. She was like, this one is not gonna come back from America if she goes now. And she's probably right. Like I was a bit wild. But
so you're finishing the teaching with the plan to teach for a while?
Yeah.
And then to whatever, use some of those funds and then
jump on the plane to LAX.
So then to pursue a career in America?
Yeah, well, just run away a little bit and start a new life, that kind of a way. And like Dublin wasn't far enough, London wasn't far enough. So I was kind of like, let's just go hard or go home. So then COVID hit and I was like, all my plans down the Swanee, I was like, oh Jesus, ended up moving into a cottage like on my own. Best thing that ever happened to me. I was terrified. Like I had never slept with in the dark. I was afraid of the dark basically. So like at home I'd have the light on, in the landing and I'd be still kind of looking for the boogeyman. So moved into the cottage and then it was like, okay, you're like on your own now. Let's go. And that was great. I'm not afraid of the dark anymore. So that was definitely a big plus. And then I ended up just auditioning for everything. So anything, I joined all these casting websites, loads of different things, and then ended up getting the wedding and events band. And then that was brilliant. I moved up to Dublin. I did an acting thing in RTE actually, in that my sister was living in Dublin at the time. Well, she's still living in Dublin, but they were living in like the city centre. So she was like, we're going away for 2 weeks. You can stay in the house and film this thing with RTE. I was delighted with myself. So stayed there, did that job. And I was like, why aren't I just up here? So when everybody was moving out of Dublin, I moved into Dublin and that was brilliant. I loved it. Then eventually everything started to open up. The band was like insane. There was weddings every single day of the week. And for like 3 years, I'd say it was just nonstop. Like band. But I was so delighted to be doing this and to be making money from what I loved to do. So I felt like I was constantly, coming back into myself, and finding these parts of me, finding the parts that I'd lost before, and then like growing in so many ways as well, because I was out on my own. I was like, it's you now.
It's all
like,
in you.
Yeah, exactly. Plus as well, I was so used to being the baby of the family. So it was kind of like, it was just a really great time. And then eventually the band I was like, okay, I'm kind of ready to move on, do the next thing. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to run away and start a new life, because I still had that itch to travel. So yeah, I went to Mexico then and Colombia on my own for a couple of months. And that's where I had my little eat, pray, love journey, I like to say. And I said, okay, when I come home now, I'm not going to teach. I'm not going to go back to any of the safety nets. And I'm actually going to try doing at least exhausting the avenues or exploring the avenues that I want to go down within the arts, and not caring about what people are going to say if I put up a video on the internet. Or, do you know, now I still had an absolute anxiety attack every time I hit post, but I was like, the more I did it, the more you kind of were like, this is actually fine. And then you're like, and now it's like, Jesus, the stuff I put up, you know what I mean? It's like, is that one okay? But yeah, it's been the best thing. Like, this has been, like, it only started really in March, and it's been the best couple of months, because I've never felt more myself. I'm just like, I actually don't care anymore. And what you see is what you get. So it's kind of like, you know, and I think that's the best way to do it. You have to be authentic to yourself, because if you're not, and like, there's so many people online that the only thing you have that's different is that you're you. There's no other you. So I was like, no, I still don't like think that I'm, and you know, anybody can do it, but it's just to be yourself, or try to be, it's just to be yourself.
You can't just
Sorry,
throw out this.
literally.
No, it's good. Hold that. You just threw out the eat, pray, love experience in Mexico and Colombia.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
It was like, literally, that's all I think of when I think of it. Like, I'd given up alcohol. Now, I feel like that's a real statement, and people, I've actually stopped now, I'm telling you now, but like, I feel like I've stopped telling people in like social situations that I'm not drinking, because straight away it's like, oh my God, like, are you on antibiotics? Like, what's wrong with you that you're not drinking? And I can totally understand, like, we're Irish, you know, it's kind of our thing. And I would have been the same if I was going on a date with a guy. I'd be like, oh Jesus, like, he's not drinking now, you know, I can't get. But that was my problem, because then it's like, I'm going to make a show of myself if I have 15 glasses of wine and he's sitting there looking at me. So
15. Good going,
exactly. There was a reason why I had to give up the
yeah.
Well, no, I'm not really. I'd still be drinking if I wasn't absolutely
You're
mental.
sitting there quietly apologizing to him, going, I'm so sorry, you're going to have to look after me tonight. This is going to turn into a babysitting process. Yeah. 15 glasses of wine later. Yeah. Carrying you home. Yeah.
Stop.
So alcohol has served its time. And
Yeah. For now, like, I feel like as well, I haven't been as productive this year. Do you know, without the alcohol, I've just been so productive.
Okay.
And I don't really
the last sip of alcohol that you would have taken was less than a year ago?
No, it was like over a year ago now. It was like October last year. Yeah.
Okay.
And then went traveling in November.
Okay.
Plus, I feel like, you know, I'm not afraid to do anything on my own sober.
Yeah.
So then I completely lose all my inhibitions when I have alcohol. So I keep saying, like, I would be the one to get in the back of the van. Do you know what I mean? Probably sober, but like, really with alcohol, I wouldn't have come back from Mexico. But yeah, that was just brilliant. And it was like, so not having alcohol was so new to me at that time as well, that the social, I was just completely myself. Like, it was, you know. Was
that daunting? Was that difficult?
Yeah, like at the start, it was kind of like, oh, gee, you know, the way, I don't know, maybe you.
Yeah, I've not drank for
have you not?
Over 3 years, thereabouts. And yeah, that's why I'm asking, because
interesting.
There was plenty of social occasions afterwards, where weddings mostly, you know, it's a full day thing, and it's family and friends that aren't even aware that you are not drinking anymore. And then all the questions come, and then everyone's getting loose and jolly, and, you know, then what their looseness and jolliness, you feel a bit more rigid and a bit more self-conscious, which was brilliant, because I realized the attachment that I had to alcohol for me to feel comfortable and safe in this environment. And that I was using the alcohol to dissolve the anxiety that I would feel in these social situations, which brought up all my shit from the past because I realized that I hated pubs. I was terrified of drunk people when I was a kid. And of course, then we're led down this path where all our friends are out drinking, and this is the thing we need to do. And if you want to be our friend, not that this is the language, but this is the narrative. You want to be our friend, you want to, maintain this social connection and open yourself up to these opportunities. Well, you're going to have to kind of follow us, and you're going to have to drink, and you have to do what we need to do what we do in order for us to continue to allow you to join us and take this path. So, I was unknown to myself at the time, influenced down this road because it's where I felt safe.
Yeah.
So, and then when I removed the alcohol, all that shit came up in terms of how I would actually feel quite anxious in these loud, busy environments, and sometimes not even anxiety, but just discomfort. Just shoulder to shoulder with these people and stuck in this crammed environment, loudness, and on a deep level, it's so far away from what I actually enjoy in my life. But I feel like I have to do this in order to be part of the enjoyment of life.
Yeah.
So that's what I came to realize. And I only realized that you only realize that once you remove that in which you feel has some type of attachment to you in your life. And then you realize the meaning of that attachment. So the earlier days, that's what I felt. But the more weddings I showed up to, the less shit I gave. And I was hammered out on the dance floor, the last couple of weddings. And you swear that I was the drunkest man in the room. So that's freedom.
Yeah.
Because I don't need something for me to feel free or to feel independent or feel in a way powerful or strong. I already have all those things within. I'm just going to express it as it is. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So that's why I'm asking the question for yourself in terms of in those social situations. At the beginning, it's quite daunting.
Yeah. But it's exactly what you've just said. And I feel like the confidence that you gain from those situations, then once you get used to it, you're like, oh my God, I can do anything now, because I feel like, we'd have a little glass of wine to go into a social situation, maybe sometimes just to kind of take that edge off. But then when you don't have that and you find that kind of confidence within and you find who you really are just in general, you don't need anything. And you're just like, this is grand. But getting to that stage, that's
a process. Yeah. As you said, take the edge off, but then asking, why am I edgy to start with? Because,
exactly.
Again, it's an external thing. It's stepping into the environment and knowing you're going to have eyes on you, which you do. You walk into a room and people are going to notice to some extent that you've walked in, and people see you. And if you're not perhaps acting or behaving or doing what everyone else is doing, then you're going to have more eyes and more questions directed towards you, which is very uncomfortable. Especially if you don't know the answer. Why are you not drinking? I don't know. I just want to take a break. But if there's a deeper answer there, that again, if you allow yourself to be exposed to these external reflections all the more, you'll start to learn what the answer actually is, and you're actually looking for perhaps a sense of freedom or independence that you've been using the alcohol to feel or to bring into your life. So, or it could be anything. Could be alcohol. Could be drugs. Could be even likes and comments on your social media posts. It's something external that's feeding something internally.
That kind of validation.
And it's like pouring water into a bucket full of holes. It might fill up a little bit, but it's going to empty out very quickly. And then you're reaching for the next bale of water to fill and to fill and to fill. It's never fully filled until you fix the holes in the bucket. And then it's when you feel fulfilled, perhaps. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So
I can see the bucket. It paints a beautiful picture, but
so
it's so true.
It's the awareness piece, first of all. Yeah. So Did
I
you
think
take that time through that process? I mean, you mentioned there the independence and the freedom and the power that you feel within yourself right now. Did you take time to reflect on
that.
why do I feel this fear, anxiety? Where is this coming from? What's happening here within the system?
I don't know. I think maybe that kind of, I loved the kind of free. I just loved the way it made me feel, to be honest. You're kind of like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then that confidence that I didn't realize I was lacking. Do you know what I mean? Like I love, like, and I think as well, just I keep thinking of this and then I keep forgetting what I wanted to say. But I remember saying to my sister, so I'll go back to the other thing in a minute, you know, there's like a million things, but my sister was like, you know, what's it like now that, because the two of us would love like sitting down, having wine together. And she said, what's it like? And I was like, and I don't think, like, I don't mean this, it makes sense once I say it, but it's like you're nearly just depressed all the time. But it's not. It's like,
hang in there, people. She's getting the point.
I'm getting there with me now.
What are you saying?
But, there's no extreme lows or there's no extreme highs, really. But you're just level. You're like,
neutral.
Yeah, you're neutral. But then when there's a high, you know it's real. Do you know what I mean? And then the lows aren't as bad because you know it's grand. Like, it's not like that fear of God when you've got alcohol in your system. It's like, okay, this is okay, but I know I can deal with it.
When there's a high, it's real.
The high is real.
Yeah. That's actually a powerful point there. Yeah.
I knew. I was like, Gavin's going to love this one now. I thought to myself.
I like that one. Yeah.
But yeah, so that is what I was saying to my sister.
And knowing you can actually reach that high through reality or through a real life experience instead of using something to bring you to that place.
Exactly. It feels so much more like fulfilling.
Yeah.
The bucket feels full in real life, and it's not. It empties out slower.
Yeah.
And like it's not going from like full to like
complete emptiness
in the
again.
bucket, dear Liza. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Cool. Go on. You're on. Moving to something else there.
Oh yeah, and you were
saying that to your sister, and then
I was saying that to my sister, and then before that there was something else that I was going to say. Yeah, just the confidence in yourself, I feel, was huge. But then I couldn't get over other people's judgments were mad. That was actually probably for me the most difficult part of which I wasn't expecting. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't. Like it was my decision to give up alcohol. Like that is nothing, you know, you can drink to your heart's content and I'm happy for you. Like I encourage other people to drink because then at least it'll be a bit more crack.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Like I know I'm going to be grand.
Yeah, I
you
get
know,
you.
maybe you need to liven up a little bit. But, no, I'm only joking. But like, I really do. I'm like, you know, because I've made this decision that I'm happy to make, I don't want to take your decision that you don't want to. Do you know what I mean? So you enjoy yourself. Is
that
what
attachment piece, isn't
say.
it? It's like I can only enjoy myself if you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
And I can only feel comfortable drinking if you're drinking.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're separate people.
Yeah.
There's separate interests, separate values. You know, what's this attachment here?
Yeah.
So and again, the attachment keeps us in a place of feeling safe because perhaps your ability to be confident and to be yourself without the alcohol exposes someone else's insecurity and vulnerabilities to be themselves without the alcohol, and they feel as, you know, on a deep unconscious level, perhaps they feel as though they need alcohol in order to feel as you do without the alcohol.
Yeah.
And you're exposing something there that's very uncomfortable for them, you know.
Yeah.
Such as, again, I would have realized that when I was alcohol
drinking,
and when I was drinking alcohol as well,
Yeah.
because again, you know yourself, you're drinking alcohol and you're surrounded by all these people and they're all great crack.
Yeah.
And when you're great crack, they're usually the ones that get a lot more attention, a lot more quote unquote love and validation from others.
Yeah.
And I thrived on that. I would go above and beyond to get this attention. I did some crazy shit when I was drinking. Right? And I just loved being that center of attention, because being the center of attention meant that, not that it was this, but it felt as though I was being loved.
Yeah.
But I was being loved for being something else. I was being loved through the influence of alcohol. That wasn't really me. It was an expression of something that I felt that I had to be in order to receive what I wanted that I couldn't feel within. So again, this whole process of unraveling, oh shit, this is actually a severe lack in me that I'm chasing externally.
Yeah.
So there's that whole process too of, again, trying to be almost extreme and having the permission to be extreme with alcohol.
Exactly.
So you can have this extreme level of attention, which feels like love.
Yes. And then it's, oh, that's just the alcohol. He's allowed to do that because it's like he's drunk. But like, you being like that, like that's in you, like that character, that not character, but like
that's true.
Yeah. Inside you. So like actually doing that then when you're sober is much more fun because you're not like, you're not under the influence, or it's all real then.
Not only under the influence of alcohol, but under the influence of other people.
Of other people's perceptions, yeah. And I think as well, like oh Jesus, I can't remember what I was going to say. Other people's perceptions. Oh yeah, that's why I don't like telling people that I'm not drinking, because I'm like, you're going to judge me in a different light then, but I'm still going to be like, you won't know that I'm not drinking, basically. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so that I can be the annoying, loud character, but which I'm not. So it's kind of like, I love dancing. I love talking to people. I love, the crack. Mm. But at the same time, I love being on my own and like silence as well. So it's kind of like, it's nice to, be able to do balance those things, to balance both. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you're on your own, I think with alcohol after, so you'd go out, have this like wild night out, and then the next day you're on your own and it's horrible because you're like, oh my God, what did I do? Who did I talk to? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whereas now it's like, oh, I'm going out and I'm having this fabulous night, and then I'm home the next day and I'm like, this is fine. I'm on my own. You know what I mean? So you've got like
I've had several men that have helped through that process of, it's not about removing alcohol. It's about
what you can.
Remembering to be yourself and to fully accept yourself as you are, instead of trying to be something else through the alcohol.
Yeah.
So I've had several men who have had struggles through the alcohol, and it often leads to, as I said, extreme situations or circumstances, which can then have a detrimental impact on them and on their relationships and on their life as a whole. And then they come crash landing. And, even this year, a great guy, but he reached out to me in January, and he was basically like living off his couch, and did something at Christmas time where he's probably listening now. Shout out to you, man. Not going to mention your name, but he did something at Christmas time that severely jeopardized his marriage, and came to me at breaking point. And ever since then, he's just found this new lease of life and energy and power within, instead of, as I said, using the alcohol to give him this sense of energy and power. And everything's transformed for him. But it's not the alcohol. The alcohol was used as a way to perhaps express parts of yourself that you felt so ashamed about.
Yeah.
And as I said, gives you an excuse to be something that you actually are, but you use it through the avenue of alcohol instead of just owning who you are.
Yeah.
And just live from that place. So, as I said, I don't believe it's the alcohol. It's the intention behind it.
Yeah.
Which is something I've been actually, it sounds like you're perhaps on the same periphery as, maybe I can introduce it, but my intention behind it now is very, very different than before.
It's literally what I was just about to say to you. Yeah, like I don't now for another while, like I'm happy enough now. I feel like there's a lot of little things that I want to get done before I go back. But that's exactly
before you go back partying.
Like, exactly before I'm standing on the bar swinging from the chandeliers. But yeah, I feel like exactly what you said. It'd be a totally different relationship in that, I always felt like when I went out, I couldn't go out and not drink. Whereas now I'm like, having the glass of wine with my mom, if we're away somewhere, it'd be a totally different relationship that is great, that I feel like you needed to come away from to realise again. So, yeah.
It's drinking to complement perhaps the joy or the contentment you've already have in your life, instead of using it to bring those things into your life.
Exactly, yeah. And I think as well, I read, and I swear that Alan Carr, that man, his ears must be on fire from the amount I talk about him. But his 2 books, Stop Drinking Now and Stop Smoking Now, that was another thing. You'd swear I'd like found God or something. I swear I'm actually, even though God is great too,
yes,
big fan of him and Leash.
Yeah, big up to God.
Yeah. But yeah, I think what he said is that alcohol is a drug. Do you know what I mean? So that's every time you drink, you're kind of going through withdrawal
Yeah, I
symptoms
get you.
until
Okay.
you drink again as well.
Mhm.
So I thought that was an interesting way to put it because we never really mentioned that as much in Ireland. You don't see it as like what it is. Do
The
you know what I
withdrawal
mean?
symptoms can then take 3 or 4 days, and then
Then you're back into the
back
weekend
into it
again. Yeah.
So
do you
you're never
know?
fully out of it until
Yeah.
you perhaps give yourself a month or
Yeah.
a period of
Yeah.
time without the alcohol.
Yeah. And it wasn't until, I don't know for you, sorry, this is like, let's talk about alcohol.
No,
but
all good.
the
It's all relevant.
for like 2 months, I'd say it was about 2 months or 3 months maybe, until I felt like, oh, now I feel different. Now I feel kind of more alive, and like it was
All
like
that
this
wine had to
energy.
process through your system, you see.
Exactly. Yeah. It was years of Pinot Grigio coming out through my pores. But yeah, no, that's it. Very happy.
Sounds like there was some sort of awakening over in Colombia, Mexico, was there?
Yeah, well, it was before I gave up before I went there.
Yeah.
It was October, and then November I traveled over. I think October it was nothing like major when I gave up alcohol. I just woke up and I was so ill, and I'd kind of just gotten sick of feeling like, sad
Sick of
kind
feeling
of from
sick,
alcohol.
yeah.
Yeah, the blues after drinking. And I just said to myself, like, I can actually not feel like this again. You know what I mean? And then I was like, okay, this is it now. Like, it's my decision, either do it. And then I was actually terrified going to Mexico and Colombia. I was like, this is real life now. If you go over, like, there's going to be a chance that, you do something absolutely outrageous and you don't come back. Do you know what I mean? And you're on your own. You're
okay.
like, I'm not a seasoned.
You nearly couldn't trust yourself with the alcohol?
No, that was it. Yeah, because I would get in the back of the van. Like, I would go anywhere. Like, oh my God, you've puppies? Let's look.
Oh, goodness. Amazing you're still here.
So yeah, exactly.
There's God now. Yeah.
Big shout out to him.
Yeah.
But and like, it was dodgy enough without alcohol, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? So adding that on top of it, I was like, I don't need this now. So it was brilliant. The best experience that I've ever, like the best decision I've ever made and the best experience of my life. I would have gone on one like solo trip before, but I absolutely was not like this seasoned solo traveler. But I feel like now, after doing that, I can do anything. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, if anybody is thinking of doing something like that, I did like a group trip for a month to start. And like, going over there, everybody was like, she's going to be back after 2 weeks. Like, my family were like, there's no way she's going to continue on. Plus, I can't organize myself, or I couldn't before I went, to save my life. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to find my way or like, make things happen. And that group trip gave me the confidence then to be like, I'm actually grand. I can continue on, go adventure. And yeah, that's what I did. And it was brilliant. Like, I don't know how I didn't die, but it was excellent. And yeah, that's when I just was like, this is new year, new me. When I come back, I'm going to go hell for leather. Because it kind of, you were so exposed. You were like, from no alcohol, no anything. It was just me there meeting people, and then kind of falling back in love with myself, being like, I love talking to people. I love just,
remembering who you are.
Yeah. And I felt like this whole new person. And then people, and I think it sounds silly, but like, people were so lovely to me as well. And they were like, God, you're great crack, you're this, you're that. And it kind of gave me this confidence to be like, I'm actually grand with who I am. And, and I really love people. And yeah, it was like just this kind of little spiritual awakening that I wasn't expecting. And I learned so much from it, about myself and about the world in general. Like, you see so much when you go to these places, and people have like, they've nothing, and they are so happy, they're so content. And I think that's what I would love. I think happiness is an emotion, sadness is an emotion, but just to be content with where you are and know that you can, like, if you're happy, wonderful, and know that you can, when you're sad, it's going to pass.
Don't attach yourself to either one. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And appreciate like both, because you need one.
Yeah.
without
Because
the
it's just
other.
an experience. If you're sad, it's a sad experience. If you're happy, it's a happy experience. That's it. It's
Yeah.
it's like going to going to a show and watching the show, but you don't take the show home with you. You
No,
don't,
unfortunately. Depends
tell
on
a
what
whole-
you're into, Gavin.
Yeah, true. Yeah, depends what type of show you go to.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, let's not cross that line. But yeah, so I mean, you don't start writing a story with the show. You don't start, putting your identity in the show. It's this is just an experience. I'm going to experience this for the next hour, whatever it might be, and then I'm going to leave and get on with life. And same thing with sadness. And again, it's the attachment of the stories and the identity and the belief that you can't be sad. That's you can't be angry, or
Yeah.
what are you so happy about? What's to be happy about? All
Yeah.
this. So again, just little projections that we picked up along the way as children,
Yeah.
and ideas that weren't our own, that we formed as a belief system, that it's
Yeah.
no, it's only right to act this way, it's wrong to be
100%.
this way, and nonsense to all of it. But as you mentioned there, it seemed like you just allowed yourself to go through whatever it was.
Yeah.
Sad. I'm sure when you're in Colombia, it wasn't all
No.
rainbows and
No.
fairies and wonderful times. I'm sure you had moments of perhaps
Yeah.
loneliness and sadness, but you allowed yourself to go through that to
Completely.
get the other side.
Yeah. The whole way through, it was like, it was an emotional roller coaster in every which way. And I loved it. It was brilliant.
Did you take on any plant medicines?
No, actually, you see, I'm terrified. I would love to do this stuff, but I'm convinced that I'll be the one that'll either like get addicted or die. And I know that you don't get addicted to, well, maybe, I don't know. You might get addicted to
There's a
feeling.
form of addiction that may arise with plant medicine.
Yeah.
Maybe becoming addicted to the experience, but not taking the experience as another message and awareness to integrate into your life, which is
That's
something
what would
I've-
happen to me.
Yeah. So,
I would be
But
like,
I
I am the plant.
yeah, but I don't think so, because you have that awareness to know this.
Yeah, now. But at the same time, that awareness goes out the window if I'm like, oh my God, this is a wonderful feeling. And now, well, maybe now, I don't know.
You don't
I
feel
feel-
called to try something like that.
I do, but I'm too afraid of the side effects. I think I've seen kind of what, not plant.
Are you referring to ayahuasca specifically when you mentioned that side effects, or
Yeah. Well, not ayahuasca, any kind of drug that not messes with, but alters your brain chemistry freaks me out, because I feel like no matter how natural it is, or no matter, I just think it goes on person to person. And I feel like alcohol, all drugs like affect people differently. And I feel like alcohol it affects me differently to how it affects other people, obviously. But you know what I mean? It's in a weird way that like I'll black out from alcohol. And I think not everybody blacks out from alcohol, or, I'd just be too afraid that it might like trigger something in me that would be
good?
negative.
That's the whole point of it. To
Yeah, I
trigger the
know.
fuck out of you.
Yeah, but
and then
not
to be
like
okay with it.
schizophrenia.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what I
I
mean?
want to keep the schizophrenia. No, let's not bring that
Yeah,
up.
that was Patricia.
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life right now, Gavin. I could do without it. So
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm kind of like, I would love to do it, but I'm too
Afraid. Yeah, okay.
of what would happen.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
But then also being perhaps quite open to what could happen.
exactly.
But
yeah.
again, it's a personal decision. I'm not imposing anything on you, but
Let's do it
it's-
right now, Gavin.
Yeah. got the mushrooms there, Dan. Get them out. Yeah. So, but again, I only ask it because I've done mushrooms twice. I've not done anything else. I've just done the mushrooms twice. There's a place in Ireland that you can go and do it. But what's
Okay.
very important with any process like that is that you go somewhere where it's been facilitated properly,
Yeah,
and that again, it's a safe place. And because if it doesn't feel safe, or it's not facilitated properly, it's actually going to squander your experience, because you're not going to be able to go all in on the experience, because you're going to be
Okay.
quite apprehensive or anxious about what could happen. So now mushrooms are all that I've done, and the reason that the first reason I did the mushrooms, or the reason I did the first mushroom experience, I should say,
Mhm.
is that I've done all this therapy, talk therapy and hypnosis and journaling for years, and talking about this and talking about that and unravel that and unravel this. And then I felt as though I hit a ceiling with this process of therapy. And I felt as though I feel like talk therapy and this process is only, it's got me this far and I don't know how to break through.
Okay.
And at the same time, I felt deep within myself that there's something more here, but I don't know how to access it. And I've heard people talk about mushrooms over the years. And I said, you know what, this is probably the time to do it. And I went to the mushroom retreat and it absolutely demolished that ceiling. And I was awakened to a whole new level of awareness and a deeper understanding as to who I am and why I do what I do. And that was massive. Again, it can be quite a challenging and overwhelming experience, but mushrooms seem to have a lot more of a gentle approach. Ayahuasca seems to, I've never done ayahuasca, so I can't really speak about it too much, but just from what I've heard from others, it seems quite, maybe a little bit more volatile and a little more of a hard-hitting experience, a lot of purging as well, which I'm not into. So it was just this deep sense of awareness. And I took that with me from my experience, incredible experience, changed my life.
Really?
And gave me understanding and meaning towards all these different experiences in my life. I was childhood trauma and bullying and all these tragedies, so-called tragedies, but then realizing, there was a meaning behind all of that for you. And I remember I spent most of it outside. And the first part of the experience, I just could not stop laughing.
No. Oh my God,
for an hour. And I mean, I've never laughed at this before. I was aching in pain with laughter. Couldn't stop until I asked. And this is what I realized after this. I was like, what is this about? And then all of a sudden I got a message that said, hey, it's okay. You can enjoy your life. Sometimes you can drop the armor. Sometimes just let it out. Just enjoy this experience. And once I got the message, the laughter stopped and then I was on to something else. So it was all the laughter that I had, not laughter and joy that I had suppressed over the years, that the mushrooms were just allowing me to express fully. And so I went through a whole experience then outside. And then the moment I stepped back inside, I just broke down in tears because at least what I felt was a sense of relief and understanding everything. I was like, wow, fuck, that's what it was.
Oh
wow. Because, there's a part of me that was still playing the victim and feeling as though I've been hard done by in life in certain ways. And then I was like, wow, get that. Oh, now I understand why.
No way.
So
it
that
actually
was
gave you answers.
Yeah. It sounds weird to anyone that's never done this, but they can actually communicate to you. It's probably communication from a higher energy or a communication from your higher self, but done through the modality of mushrooms. And so then I went off for 6 months and integrated these parts of myself back into my life, but then realizing that this victimhood mentality was still having a big part to play in my life, and I wasn't very content with maintaining this, because when things would not work out for me, I'd still fall back into fuck this and fuck that, and then realizing no, fuck this, fuck holding on to this victimhood mentality and blaming situations or yourself or something else for what's happened. So I went back then and I was like, okay, the intention now is to get rid of this victimhood mentality. And then, lo and behold, I got some new awareness and realizations and understanding I was just getting in my own way all the time, that everything was happening for a reason, that I was running away from myself far too often into so-called healthy things as well, the gym, the sea, the whatever it was, work. And that was my moment to realize that, okay, I actually need to stop. I need to stop and be still, because I need to start paying attention to what I already know instead of believing that I'm going to find the answer outside of myself. So that's been a process over that's probably a year and a half ago now. And that's just opened up a whole new chasm for me. So yeah.
Deadly. I'm so easily influenced. I'm like, that's it now. You can give me that number. I'm sold.
Yeah.
Myself and Mammy are going to head down now after Spar.
Take a detour, yeah. It's, but I feel it's important that you go, if you feel called to do so, like not to be, because I would have heard about mushrooms and ayahuasca for many years, but I wasn't ready up until that point. So
never know.
When you know,
I think like when I'm say 90, like 98, 99. That's when I'm gonna do heroin. I'm gonna do mushrooms. I'm gonna be like, just put it
finish me
all.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see what all of this is like. Because at
Yeah.
least then I won't be able to do as much damage as I can do now. Do you know what I mean?
But
It won't
then
be
again,
slimmer.
there's the whole perception of damage around it. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be
It could
something
be
that
brilliant.
changes your life
Yeah.
in a whole new, brilliant way. Just that you don't. Again, not imposing it, but that you just there's something there that you're not fully aware of yet that can then be blossomed into your life. You know.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's brilliant. I think, it's something that once, like, maybe, I'm just not ready to do it now.
yeah,
And like,
it's cool.
one of my friends, like, I've never heard someone to promote mushrooms as much in my life. I'm like, he's like, go on, try a mushroom. And I'm like, I'm going to absolutely fucking murder you if, you say it again. But I understand it. I appreciate other people, and I'm so like happy that to hear their stories. And I'm excited in a little way that I'm like, maybe someday I will do it. But at the moment, I'm like, cold turkey, let's just see what life is like.
Yeah, at the moment, it seems to be a matter of removing certain aspects from your life so you can then perhaps create space for something new to come in.
Just
when it's
completely break down and then recreate.
Great breakdown, yeah. It's not the breakdown, it's the build up afterwards. That's the best part.
Yeah.
So what have you got going on at the moment that you can tell the audience about? What's happening in the life of Dern, and anything new coming up?
Hopefully, everything is new now at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think what you were saying as well, to actually, I feel like there's so many different things at the moment. And what you were saying was to explore something in greater detail. And I feel like that's what I'm trying to do now with different things. So I'm hoping to do a podcast.
Cool. Nice one.
So unfortunately it's for single people, Gavin. So I'm not sure you're not. Right?
No.
Okay, well, you'd never know. If you happen to be single, you could come on to that.
Yes.
I'm going to call it Dating with Doireann. So it'll be kind of, I'm doing some videos with single people in the car, and it'll just be kind of an extended version of that. So real people looking for love, and just, I really enjoy hearing other people's stories about what they're looking for in love, about their previous, like, not previous relationships, but like previous conquests in love. Experiences in love. So that's Dating with Doireann that I need to actually start. Well, I have started, but I need to actually just do it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, social media stuff. God only knows what I'm going to randomly come out with. Yeah, but I have
take a few mushrooms. I might
exactly. I'm going through a bit of a block, when someone's like, "But what are you actually doing?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
I'm doing my best, Gavin. I'm doing my best.
Brilliant.
So
that's all you need to do. Yeah. The rest look after itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So
excellent. Really enjoyed this conversation with you.
Really enjoyed. Yeah.
Cool. And for anyone who would like to check out your work, check out your good self, see what you're up to, where can they find you at?
So on Instagram, I'm at O'Connor Doireann. And then on TikTok, it's at Doireann OC, I think. But if you just search Doireann O'Connor in general, I'm not very good with the...
Yeah. It's not too many Doireann O'Connors in Ireland,
No.
so you're not hard to find.
Exactly.
If we don't find you, we'll hear you somewhere along the way.
That's it. I'll be hanging around some street corner if you're looking for me.
Yeah.
I know I won't.
Deadly.
I'll be up in the sky, on the moon.
Yes, floating about.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Excellent.